Hey there, everybody. And the reason why you're seeing what you're seeing, that's my laptop. Maybe I'll make it a little bit better here. Oh, that looks so cool. Of course, now you can see all the dust on my keys. But anyways, the reason why it's pointing to my keyboard, if you've seen my last video, you know why. It just the sound that I was making, my talking and my lips, they weren't in sync, and I hate that when I see that on other videos, where the what they're saying is not in sync with their lips. It just drives me crazy. Even though growing up, I did used to watch those old kung fu movies. Those probably B movies that used to be after the cartoons, creature feature type things, where they use tons and tons of fake blood capsules. I did like that, but so I'm doing it this way at least until I can figure out. At least until I can figure out how to get a better quality video, and because that's what it's about. It's about better quality. Maybe it's the camera I got. It's a Logitech camera. Maybe it's just the laptop that I'm using, because it's not a modern laptop. It's an older laptop. I don't think there's much RAM. There is enough RAM in here to to run the webcam. Because I did look at the back and just to see what the specs were. But it's not. I don't have the specs on my laptop to run a HD camera. So anyways, until that happens, maybe when I get my refund, which I haven't done yet, I'm going to do this. So anyways, I wanted to talk about, I was listening to WGIR AM, the Sean Hannity show on that. It's usually at 3 to 5, I think. It's either 3 to 5 or 3 to 6. I think it's 3 to 6 because it's 3 hours. And, when I come home, it's easy enough to have the radio on. And I like to be up on politics. Anyways, Sean had other people on there, and they were discussing some topic, and religion just kept popping up. And I like listening to Sean Hannity. I like listening to other stuff as well, but when people have religion and politics together, it shouldn't be there. Because, even though I was raised Catholic, my spiritual beliefs are actually more eclectic now, wide-ranging. I broaden myself. I feel that I broaden myself by listening to some Wicca. I did tons of reading about shamanism. Of course, there's also Eastern thought and Buddha, the Buddha. And just also tons and tons of books about angels and you know, all that stuff. I read the Celestine Prophecy, which I loved. You know, it's an awesome story, and it's an awesome teaching story. And if you actually get the audio version of that, over at audible.com, audible.com, LeVar Burton is the reader of that. And I don't know if you've heard LeVar Burton read. You know, he was on Reading Rainbow. He was actually Geordie LaForge on Star Trek The Next Generation. But he is an awesome, awesome reader. I mean, I just love listening to him. Some people that they have on Audible, you know, I don't know how they got, you know, I don't know what their process on picking a reader on that particular book. Maybe they knew somebody. But anyways, so I was listening to Hannity, and they were talking, they were mixing religion and politics. And in this country, okay, we have something that is called, well, first of all, we have the freedom of religion. Okay, and in this country, there are people of many religions, even though Christianity is probably the most popular, but there are others. You know, there's shamanism, there is Wicca, there is New Age, and I do consider New Age a religion because it acts like a religion. So anyways, because there's all these different religions. And there's also, see, religion is a person's personal journey in their life, you know, at this moment in time and space. It's their personal journey. You know, what they're learning, what they're trying to teach, what they're learning, how they, what kind of friends they have, all that stuff. It's their personal spiritual journey. Now, but not to be confused with morality. Morality is just doing the right thing. You know, because I consider, you know, because I was thinking about an analogy that I could use to help explain this. And think of the country as a body, you know, the body of the United States. And the government, the elected officials, we put in charge to care for that body, to make sure that the individual cells within that body can live freely within that. You know, as long as they, and those individual cells themselves also have to, you know, care for the body, you know, in their own little sphere. But there are some bigger things that the government can do better in caring, and that's what it should do. Instead of trying to make laws on abortion, you know, everybody has their own, you know, I mean, that abortion issue, it's just so tired. You know, you're either for or against. I mean, and that's that. That should not be in the political arena. It shouldn't. You know, that's got to be within the family unit of, you know, within the family unit in the family's house. Now, if they can't get the help there, it is society's responsibility to help that person, not necessarily the government. Okay? So, they shouldn't be talking about that, you know. And the discussions about whether to give gays and transgendered people rights, I mean, again, it should be a non-starter. They automatically have the right. It's in the Constitution. They have the right to pursue happiness as they conceive of what happiness is, as long as it doesn't harm the body of the United States. And it doesn't. So again, the government shouldn't be in that. The government also takes too much from one part of the body and gives it to another part of the body, and puts the body unbalanced instead of letting the economy just be have its own natural flow. So anyways, these things, it should not be part of, religion should not be part of the government, because we have freedom of religion, and we also have a thing that's separation of church and state. And neither the two shall, they should both equally exist on the same playing field without interfering with each other. And I think a lot of times the state interferes too much with the church, which is strange, because in the past, the church used to interfere with the state. Okay, so now the state is interfering with the church. It's like lopsided the other way. But there has to be a balance between the two. There's church and there's state. Not to be confused again with morality. Morality is just doing the right thing. Caring for the bigger body. Like not littering, not throwing cigarettes out the window. Because that cigarette could land in someone's yard and cause a fire to their house, burn down their house, and then that person that threw out the cigarette harmed that other person. Instead of having respect for that other person and putting that cigarette out in their ashtray in their car, and all cars have ashtrays, it's like something like that. And just, littering of trash and stuff. I mean, you don't want to be walking through a park and just have all this trash. People should pick up their own shit, their own stuff. We should need laws on that. We should have the basic morality just to do the right thing for the body of the United States. So anyways, I just wanted to mention that and kind of vent. And I will be, my next video will be opening up some Yu-Gi-Oh cards and getting into that passion. So if you like Yu-Gi-Oh, even if you're just curious on why someone may like it, check out that video and check out all the other videos that people have made about Yu-Gi-Oh. Thank you for listening, watching. Stay creative in the magic of life.